Everybody tells you you're a great photographer, you got a new camera, and you want to make a business, but you don't know where to begin. One of the most important things you can do is make sure that your business is registered with the state you live in as a legitimate business or a legal business, as well as with the IRS. What's up, guys? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sam Marvin, and I have been in the photography industry for 25 plus years. While I love being a creative, business is my passion, and elevating the industry of photography is my focus. I created the Seven Figure Photographer to share my journey to seven figures and to help others find their way too. So it's been brought to my attention that some of you have struggled with how to even set up your legal business in the state that you live in. Now, the reason that I can even do this is because I've done this a lot of times. I've set up many businesses, and these are relatively simple and relatively inexpensive things to do. I'm going to tell you right now that if you have any questions on this, about the legalities or any of those things, make sure to talk to your accountant or to your lawyer. I would love to answer any of the questions you have, and I'll answer as best I can. But a lot of these things you really just need to talk to a tax professional or a business lawyer to make sure that you do these things right. Some of these things you're going to want to talk to your business professional, your tax professional about them, how you want to set up your entity, whether you want it to be a sole proprietorship, an LLC, limited liability corporation, or an S Corp. There's a couple of different things about them. For instance, an S Corp. We are an S Corp, and we chose to set up our business as an S Corp to save on the taxes that we have to pay. Typically, an S Corp is something you're going to set up when you're making substantial amounts of money. Not that that sounds weird, but if you're making above six figures plus, maybe even multi six figures, again, talk to your tax professional about this. I know that my accountant says, hey, you're paying too much in taxes. We got to get this down somehow. And we chose to organize my business into a limited liability sole proprietorship. So a limited liability corporation, LLC, is what I would suggest for most every photographer out there. The benefit to doing this is that a limited liability corporation is actually going to limit your liabilities, meaning if you trip in the park and knock some kid out with your camera and they want to sue you for all you're worth, if you're a sole proprietor, they can actually take your house, they can take any of your assets to pay those medical bills. There's a lot of things. Again, talk to your professionals about this. But those are some of the things. I ran my business as a sole proprietor for a long time. We finally realized that it was time to just move things over to an LLC, but then ended up going to an S Corp because of the amount of money we were making. So those are the three things that I would suggest. Sole proprietor, I wouldn't do it. But if it's right for you, you can run it just basically under your social security number. You don't even have to do these extras other than setting up an assumed business name. The LLC, limited liability corporation, which is what I would suggest for just about any and every photographer out there, or an S Corp. If you're making a lot of money doing what you're doing, set up an S Corp. Most of your tax professionals will do this for you if you have a tax professional, but these are things that you can really do for mostly free. Obviously, setting up an LLC typically costs, I know in Idaho it costs about $105, but the S Corp, I'm not even sure what the S Corp costs. I had my accountant set that one up. So the first thing you want to do is you want to register your business with the state you're in. And how you're going to do that is you're going to actually go to your state's Secretary of State. So for instance, I'm going to go to Idaho Secretary of State. Once you get in here, really the great thing about this is you can actually go in and do a business search. So say for instance, you have this business that you want to call yourself. For any of you that know me, I'm a big proponent of being known for who you are, like your own name. So like for me, I'm SamuelMarvin.com or Samuel Marvin Photography. I want to be known for me. I don't want to be known for the 1,700 different photographers out there that are Lasting Memories Photography. And I say that one because that was the original name of my business. For instance, we're now in the Idaho Secretary of State. I can actually go in here and type in Lasting Memories. I know that I just saw somebody here in Idaho that had So I apologize, but I had it too. I'm laughing with you, not at you. Just to show you, when I changed my business from LMP or Lasting Memories Photography, I actually went to LMP LMP Sports, which was Lasting Memories Photography, but I just shortened it down. So, and I actually still own LMP Enterprises. So anyway, there's that information. That's how you can look it up. So if you have a business name and you're like, hey, I want to have a unique business name in the state of California or Idaho or wherever you're at, you need to set it up this way. And you go in here to the business search and you search the name, because you don't want to have 100 different photographers in your state with the same name as you, okay? Now, what we're going to do from here is we're actually going to go and onto the main part of the website. You're going to search for the business, I think it's business forms. Let's just double check this one. Yeah, business forms. So in here, this is where you're going to find your different options. So there's two different things here. For instance, my business is actually S&P LLC, which is Samuel Marvin Photography LLC, the limited liability corporation. It's an S corp. Under Samuel Marvin or S&P LLC, I own a couple of different businesses like CIC Pro Lab. I own Seven Figure Photographer. I own Samuel Marvin Photography. Those are just DBAs. So those are businesses working under the same umbrella, the same parent company, S&P LLC, but they're just a DBA. Now, a DBA only costs you $25 to do, but you need to set up you don't necessarily have to have a DBA, but where you'll want a DBA is if you're a photographer that just wants to run a sole proprietorship and you just want to run everything under your own social security number. So you can file your taxes, you can put your expenses, everything under there, just under your personal social security number, and there's no problem with it. Now that may vary depending upon the state. I know in the state of Idaho, that's how we used to do it. We used to run everything just under our personal social security number. So all we had to do was create a DBA. It was a doing business as. Now that's $25. In fact, I'm going to show you here. I believe it's actually assumed business name. I apologize. It's ABN or DBA. There's two different ways. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to create an account for your state Secretary of State. In this situation, I've already got an account, so I'm just going to log in, and you'll see right here. This is the information you need, and it shows you right here on the page that it's a $25 filing fee. If you want to expedite it, it's $65. If you want a same-day service, it's $100. File it online. It doesn't take that long to get back. $25, and you're good to go. Your mailing address, this is where the business is located. So if it's in your home, just put it in your home. The ABN owners, this is who all is an owner of that business. If you want to put your name and your husband's name or wife's name, you do that. Typically, you're just going to put it under your name. And then the confirmation and all the information to file it, and then declare and sign, and you can file online. So that's how you do an ABN or a DBA. That's what they're called, different things in different places. But that's all it takes. It's $25, and then you're registered with the state. You can pay your taxes, everything just through that. Now, when you take it a step further and you go with the limited liability corporation or the S Corp, you're going to do the same thing. Let's back up here. You're going to set up a certificate of organization limited liability company. Now, in here, it shows you the filing fee is $100. I was incorrect. It's not $105. I think there's a $5 fee extra or something in there. Maybe I'm wrong. But it's the same thing. You go through the same process. This is going to create the limited liability corporation. Once you get that done with the state, you can run your business under that directly, or you can create an ABN or assumed business name under that business as well, or you could even create 10 assumed business names that run under that same filing. It's just creating different elements of your business. Now, in here, you're going to get the same exact stuff, your entity address, so where your business is located, the registered agent. This is for the person, the managing partner or the registered agent of the business, which would typically be you yourself. The governors, this is the basically like other people in the business. So typically with a corporation, you have to have different shareholders or whatnot, or well, not shareholders, but different parts of the company. So this is normally done with 1 to 2 or 3 people, whatever, but those are just the different people in the business and what percentage they have. Confirm it and then declare, sign, and file. That's $100 with a $1 convenience fee. And you can do this all online. and have it done in a couple of days. They'll send you a certificate. It's just a certificate showing that your business was created on this day. Now, that is the certificate that you're going to take to the bank and get a business account. You have to have filed with the state to get a business account. Some banks can kind of mess around with it and do it under your name, but to have a legit business account with that, you have to do it under an ABN or a DBA or through the filing. Now, same thing goes, and I'm not going to run through the same process because it's really pretty much all the same stuff to set up an S Corp. You just have to find it. Again, most of you are not even going to be in that position where you need to set up an S Corp. Some of you may be, and that's perfectly fine. But again, talk to your professional about it. Now that we've taken the time and we've set up that aspect of our business, we're registered with the state that we live in, and we're a legal business. The next part, and this part, I don't know why people pay for this, but a lot of people do. You're going to hop over to irs.gov. Now, when you go on to Google and you type in EIN, you're going to get ads for 100 different people that will do this for you. Now, there's also, when you try to set up a business, there's a lot of people that will suggest that they can help you set up the business, especially for like an LLC. Sometimes it is better to go through a legal filing company. You can pay like $250 and have it done, and they give you all the documentation, all the legal papers properly for it. So you can do it. It's not like incredibly necessary. But as you can see on here, there's like ads for irs.ein-forms.gov or -gov.com. That is not the right page. Those you will get paid for or charged for. You're going to look for irs.gov. That is where you're going to go, and you're going to come in here to this first page. And over on the right-hand side right here, it says apply for an employer identification number. This is like your social security number for your business. When you want to build credit for your business, this is what it's going to be listed under, okay? Otherwise, everything is just under your own personal name. Now, if you scroll down here, you're going to find information about whether or not, like, do you need an EIN? Do you need a new EIN? How to apply for an EIN? All these different things. But here's the button right here, apply for an EIN. And it's really pretty simple. It's free. So maybe it's $10. I can't remember. So let's just hit the apply online now. And again, it's going to give you a couple of different options for making sure that this is something that is even right for you. Like here, do I need an EIN or do I need a new one? And you're just going to begin the application. And it's really a pretty simple process. Here you can say, okay, well, I'm a limited liability S Corp. So because I'm an LLC S Corp, I'm actually still a corporation. So I put it under there, and then you hit continue. Of course, depending upon which one of these you choose, you might get, you got to choose corporation because it is a corporation for an S Corp, LLC if it's just an LLC, and then I probably should have gone through the LLC one for you guys. I'm going to select S Corp. So you're just filling out like the identification of the business, all that good fun stuff. Make sure to read through things. If you have any questions, make sure to talk to your tax professional again. Make sure you have all these questions ready so you don't get charged extra. And then here's some questions. Choose one reason that best describes why you were applying for an EIN. One of the important things is that you've hired employees or for banking purposes, or you change the type of your organization. So those are some of the reasons that you need it. We'll just put hired employees. You don't need an EIN particularly, but I've always had one. Every business I've ever gotten, I've always had an EIN. So I don't know if it's just one of those things that it's just a little bit more comfortable way of making sure that you have everything done. Here you enter in all the information, your social security number, so that it links your EIN to your social. You can put, I'm the president, CEO, or corporate officer. I'm third party applying for EIN, whatever. So this is if somebody's applying for it for you. Like if I were to enter all the information, put it in there for you. So, and then I'm not going to put all this extra in here. The next part is the address, the details, and the EIN. They'll send you a letter. You'll get your EIN immediately. It's important to be able to make sure that your business is legal because you don't want the IRS or your state tax commission coming after you for wages or whatever. Don't be embarrassed if you don't have this set up, or if you're like, crap, Sam, I didn't know I had to do these things. don't be embarrassed. Maybe don't put it out there publicly. If you have questions about it and you're not sure, I will leave an email for my accountant who is well versed in it, and you can send her an email and ask her any questions. It is my sister. She is my tax professional, so I'm kind of spoiled in that aspect. But the only other thing that you would want to do is you would want to create a sales tax ID for your state, which is a little document that you get that says, hey, I'm registered with the state of Idaho so I can collect sales tax. And that's basically how they keep track of your monies. I think it's important that we are legitimate businesses, because those are the things that pay for, the different parts of everything to do with our economy. So for those of us who are in established businesses in a brick and mortar studio that have to pay taxes, and gladly will pay taxes. Taxes are what I consider a byproduct of success. For those of us that have to pay taxes, it's kind of screwed up for those that just take advantage of the system. And so, yeah, you can offer a cheaper service to people out there when you're not paying taxes. But let me tell you, it's not going to work out pretty for you if you get caught. That's literally all it takes to create a legal business name. I could have done it in the time that you've been watching this video. If you want to know more about the business side of it, check out more of our videos. Other than that, that's all I've got for you today. I hope that's been helpful. If you enjoyed it, make sure to smash the like button and comment below. And that's all I got for you today. I hope you guys get your businesses set up and you rock the crap out of it. I always say the worst things at the end. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Take care.